Solving rational equations. Right, the idea behind this is to find the lowest common denominator, because this will help you solve these, okay? So let's have a look at it. We've got here rational equation. Okay, solve it equal to 0. Right, what's the lowest common denominator of 3 and 2? Okay, well the LCD of that is 6. So I'm going to multiply everything by 6. Okay, so I'm going to put 6, multiply that by 6, multiply this by 6, and multiply this by 6. Okay, we look down here as well. But by doing that, just remember that you're not actually multiplying just the numerators. The reason why I've multiplied by 6 is this. Look, 6 divided by 3 will leave you with 2. Okay, so that is now the number that I'm going to use for my distributive law. Okay, look at this. Okay, 6 divided by 2 is going to give me 3. So that is what I'll use for the distributive law on that parenthesis. And 6 multiplied by 0, well that's still 0. If that was a 2 on the other side, it'd be 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, so remember I'm multiplying everything by 6. Let's have a look down here. Okay, so here it is, right here. So I'm going to multiply everything by 6. But of course it's still 0, because 0 times 6 is still 0. Right, and again, so I did it. This cancels to the 2. This cancels. 6 over 2 is 3. Now after that, it's just straightforward distributive law. Look, if I do that, I'll get this. Combine like terms here, x and numbers, and it'll solve it to x equals 5. So fairly straightforward. Just multiply everything by 6. Okay? Let's have a look at a more complicated one. Right, look at this one. Okay, now then. What's the lowest common denominator of 3x plus 6, x squared minus 4, and x minus 2? Well, we don't know until we can factor. Okay, we need to factor each one of these denominators and then build up the lowest common denominator from that. So, if I factor 3x plus 6 here, pull a 3 out, I'm left with 3x plus 2. This is the difference of squares. X squared minus 4 will factor into x plus 2 and x minus 2. And x minus 2 won't factor, it's still x minus 2. So now you look at what you've got. I have a 3. I have an x plus 2. This has an x plus 2, but I don't have to write it again. Okay. This has an x minus 2. This at the end has an x minus 2. I don't have to write it again. Okay, so what I've just pointed at is the lowest common denominator. Here it is. Okay, so I've got to multiply everything by that, not just 6 like this was. So what I'm saying here is everything has to be multiplied by 3 x plus 2 x minus 2. Each one of these 3 terms. 2 on the left and 1 on the right. So, okay, I'm just going to erase this over here. Well, I'll raise this bit. Okay, I'll just do this bit. Remember, so that is the lowest common denominator. I'm going to multiply it by. So 3x plus 2, x minus 2. Now, can you see? If I multiply that with this, then what will cancel will be the 3 and the x plus 2. You see, here we go. On the bottom, the 3 and the x plus 2. So that just leaves me with the 2 that's already there with that x minus 2 next to it. Okay, there you go. I've just simplified that first one. That's left and that's left. Right, if I multiply again, imagine it again. I can write it up here. I've got a 3, remember? An x plus 2 and an x minus 2. Not much space here. But can you see that the x plus 2, x plus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2 will cancel? Looks like just the 3's left with the 1 that's already there. So that's just 3. Okay, 3 times 1. These two here. 3 times 1. Equals. Right, again. Now imagine this is what I'm multiplying by. This here. So can you see here, just the x minus 2 will cancel on the top and the bottom. So what I'm left with is a 4 and a 3. So let's make that, let's erase that and make that 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And still this x plus 2. Okay, so there we go. I've just simplified everything. By multiplying by the lowest common denominator, I can get rid of the denominators. I'm usually still left with a certain amount of numerators. Okay, so what's this? 2x minus 4 plus 3 equals, what's that, 12x plus 24. Let's have a look. So this is 2. Let's get the x's over onto the right hand side. So take away 2x from both sides. That'll give me 10x over here. If I take away 24 from both sides, that's gone. Now remember, what's this? Negative 4 plus, this is actually negative 1 right now, isn't it? So if I take away 24, I'll have negative 25. Divide both sides by 10, or literally write it as 25 over. You can write it like this. This is going to reduce to, let's have a look, if I write it over 10 first, then reduce it, that'll take me down to, both of them by 5, negative 5 over 2. Okay, and that's what x equals. Let me have a quick check. There we go. Okay, right now. Okay, there you go.